Let's pick up where we left off last time. We have a relatively simple structure laid out so far, but let's ask ourselves, where might this be applicable? Well, one of the things we can relatively conclude quickly is that if you're going to be a hermit up on the top of a mountain, this is not going to be workable for you. However, if we interact with people, which is applicable to all of us at all times, we're going to see this structure usable. If we make friends, move them into acquaintances. If we find someone special, marry them, we have a long-term relationship where this type of structure will become very important. If we're married, we're probably eventually going to end up parenting, and we'll need it not only in interacting with each other, our spouse, but also with our children. And in order to support that family, of course, we're going to want to have a job or a career. And in that career, we will be interacting with peers, people on our team or outside the team we need to interact with. Subordinates at some point if we move into supervision. And certainly we'll have a boss we have to interact with. Beyond our personal career, take the company or job that you have. And as a business, you will have the same type of interactions between people, between customers, vendors, suppliers. And regardless of who we are, we will have cultures to deal with, our own particular culture, whether we fully recognize it or not, or the cultures of other people groups close to us in the neighborhood, in the country, or in other countries where we do business with. Next, larger is politics. Simply the sheer fact of getting elected into a local or regional government, or even to national government. Games that are played there in terms of convincing other people to select us, and after we're in a position of job, how we get things done that we're supposed to be getting done. And the last and probably largest one is in government. That is to say, how do we govern our region, our country, and how do we interact country to country and treat different people and different cultures when there are things to be gained or lost between each of us. Let's take a simple example, perhaps dropping in a flea market and finding a vendor who is selling something like an iron skillet that you're interested in. You ask him the price, and he's saying, "Oh, $15 for this." And you immediately think, well, that is a little bit too expensive. So you find yourself over on the zero-sum game. You want to make an exchange for the skillet, but the price is way too high. So your immediate thought is, well, if I chose that price and agreed, he would win, and I get a skillet, but I think I paid too much for it, so I'm kind of more or less on the losing end of this. So you begin a negotiation or discussion in an attempt to move over towards this area, the break-even point, where after discussions or negotiations you finally agree, $5 for that skillet is fine. You make the exchange. You're both happy. You have the skillet. He's got the $5. He doesn't have to carry the skillet home again. And you've reached a business transaction where both sides have benefited after a bit of negotiation. Starting point was over on the left, win-lose, but you moved it towards the win-win. This type of thing happens all the time, and why it is important to understand the zero-sum game in this movement left to right occurs in deciding who we make friends with, in developing our marriages, in trying to work with and develop our children, particularly in a career. Do I like this company? I want to stay with it. I enjoy the culture. Or no, this is not good. I want to leave this now. So let's stop here, finish up. we've laid out some groundwork for the next particular episode section. So come back for part 3 in a little bit.